If you lined up 100 random men right now, only 7 of them would be considered lean. I used to be one of the other 93, and even after years of trying to lose fat, I was still stuck. Until finally I realized what separates men who are fat from men who are lean, and I managed to lose 70 pounds of body fat and get in better shape than I ever thought possible. And in this video, I'm going to break down for you why 93% of men never get lean, the mistakes they make, and what the 7% of men who are lean do so that you can finally see the results that you want. So why is it that 93% of men fail? Well, it's not because of a lack of information, because let's face it, the information is out there for everyone to see. So what it really is not being able to stick to it for long enough to see results. I remember this was exactly the case for myself. I used to watch a fat loss video, feel really motivated, get off to a great start, maybe make some progress in the first week, and then whenever I got a bit tired, work got a bit busy, that motivation would disappear and I would find myself sat on the sofa, ordering a pizza from Deliveroo and promising myself I would start again on Monday. Look, motivation is an emotional state, and emotional states come and go. So if your whole plan relies on you being motivated and fired up all the time, you are doomed to fail. That is why so many guys, including myself, waste years of their life going around in circles, losing a bit of fat in bursts, but then shortly putting it right back on. And the worst part is there is so much bullshit on social media nowadays with 20-year-olds who are topless telling you to eat nothing but steak and eggs and train for 2 hours a day. But what they don't realize, in the real world, real people have responsibilities and are busy all the time. So it's so easy to fall into the trap of following one of these optimal plans where you fast for 22 hours a day, do some complex, ridiculous 4-hour primal workout, in the hope that this is the one that's finally going to give you the results that you want. But by following that BS, you're going to burn out and you're going to convince yourself that you just can't do it. But the thing is, you can. You just need to stop approaching fat loss like it's some 8-week challenge and start designing a lifestyle that fits around you. Because the 7% of men who get lean don't rely on some gimmicky program or motivation. What they rely on is a system that's built around their lifestyle so that habits become automatic. They eat foods they love every single day, train 3, maybe 4 times a week, and work cardio into their existing day. That is what you call sustainable. But before you work towards a system like that, you have to change your identity, otherwise you are never going to get lean. By the way, once you finish this video, I can guarantee you'll be ready to put this stuff into action. And if you have no idea where to start, I've actually put together a free fat loss Kickstarter blueprint which contains a training program and 6 macro-friendly recipes that I eat every single day. You can get that for yourself, again, for free by clicking the second link in the description of this video, so make sure you go and do that straight after. You see, the truth is, those 7% of men don't have more time than you, they don't have more willpower than you, and they don't even necessarily have better genetics than you. They just think differently. Most guys are focusing on trying to lose fat rather than trying to be lean. That's the difference. The 93% are chasing magic fixes in the hope that it brings them quick results, whereas the 7% build an identity and a lifestyle that produces those results naturally. Think about it like this: when you identify as a guy who is trying to lose fat, every choice you make is filtered through that lens. You are always chasing, always comparing yourself to others, and always waiting for that burst of motivation to come back. But when you see yourself as a man who takes care of his body and identifies as lean, your behavior will begin to align automatically. And don't get what I'm saying twisted. I'm not saying go around at 30% body fat pretending and telling everyone that you're lean. I'm saying adopt the mindset of a man who is already lean, so you no longer have to force it. You get your steps in not because you have to, but because it's just what you do. You will eat a high protein breakfast not because you should, but because you want to. That's what makes it effortless, and that's where consistency comes from, because it's just who you are. Look, the goal is to get lean for life, right? So why take such a short-term approach towards it? Why does it have to happen in 8 weeks and not in 8 months? Of course you can see results faster than 8 months, but what I'm saying is if you broaden your time horizon, that almost guarantees results. Once you do that, it will take the pressure off you a little bit. And the funny thing is, that's when you will start doing the stuff that actually moves the needle and gets the fat off. I remember times when I used to completely overcomplicate fat loss. And I think I did that because it gave me an excuse to why I couldn't do it. So I would say, well, obviously I couldn't do it, it's just too hard. And I think nowadays that's why so many guys gravitate towards these ridiculously complex plans, because they come with a built-in excuse as to why they couldn't do it. Whereas when you focus on the basics, it becomes really easy. So suddenly you have no excuse. So make that shift, and trust me, suddenly it will feel a hell of a lot easier. And once you've made that shift, the next step is putting systems in place to where doing the right thing becomes automatic. Because when you have the right systems in place, you no longer have to wake up hoping for that feeling of motivation, and the results just seem to take care of themselves. So here's a system, and it's built around 3 pillars: nutrition, training, and lifestyle. Let's start with nutrition, and what I want you to understand is there's no such thing as a perfect diet. No matter what that topless guru is telling you on Instagram, I promise you, you do not need to eat raw steak or 12 eggs a day in order to lose fat. You just need to base the majority of your diet, or 80% of it, around whole foods and go from there. And don't be afraid of any foods. 20% of your daily calorie intake can come from whatever it is you want, whether that's chips, ice cream, or chocolate. It doesn't matter. As long as you're eating in a calorie deficit and you're eating 1 gram of protein per pound of your desired body weight every single day, you are going to lose fat, and you're going to maintain or even build muscle. And find recipes that you actually enjoy so that you can make your meals predictable, so you're not sat there with cravings wondering what your next meal is going to be. Really, your nutrition can be that simple, and in fact, it should be. On to training, and again, it's not about doing more, it's about doing enough consistently, and 3 to 4 weight training sessions a week is enough. Focus on getting stronger in the gym, because if you are getting stronger, it's more or less guaranteed you are building muscle. And don't overcomplicate things, master the basics: pushing, pulling, hinging, and squatting movements. That is what is going to give you a lean, powerful physique. And finally, lifestyle. This is where most guys drop the ball, because they think the only time that matters is their hour gym session, and they completely ignore the other 23 hours of the day. Aim for 10k plus steps every single day. Honestly, that habit alone is going to change your life forever, and it's so easy to get done when you work the steps into your day, and the benefits are endless. Walking burns calories without putting stress on your body. It also relaxes you and reduces inflammation in the body, and that's just scratching the surface. Also, when it comes to sleep, and I know this is a cliche, but you have to get 8 hours of sleep a night. It's so important. Back in the day, I thought I was strong-willed because I would only get 6 hours of sleep a night. And I used to go around and brag about that like somehow it made me more of a man. But what I didn't realize then, that I realize now, I was maybe 50% as productive as I am now, but I get 8 hours of sleep a night. Also, sleep is where you build muscle, and it's also where your body produces hormones like testosterone, so make sure you're getting enough. And I've just realized that also quite literally means that sleeping more makes you more of a man, because you're producing more testosterone. And that's it. By following a simple system just like that, you no longer have to guess how you should train, what you should eat, or if you should get your steps in or not, because you just do it automatically because it's part of your system. And when you live like that for long enough, you will reap the rewards of compounding, and you will finally see the results that you wanted for years. But if it really is that simple, why do so many guys quit anyway? Well, it's because although the system may be simple, your mind and your brain is anything but. Most guys don't fall off because they're lazy. They fall off because of something I like to call the cycle of endless restarting. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Starting off really strong and thinking to yourself, maybe this really is the time that things happen. And you feel like that for 2 or maybe 3 weeks. But then life gets busy, maybe you're a little bit stressed, and you have 1 too many drinks one night, or maybe a bit too many calories, and bang, you label yourself a failure, and you suddenly tell yourself that you've thrown it all away and you may as well start again next week. And rinse and repeat. And if you're not careful, you can be stuck in that cycle for years, if not the entirety of your life. But here's the thing, falling off doesn't mean you failed. It's just your brain's way of telling you that something needs to be adjusted. Let's say, for example, you keep overeating really late at night. Well, something you could do is implement a restrictive eating window where you consume all your calories throughout the day from, let's say, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. That way you quite literally cannot eat at night. And it's making changes like that where you stop judging yourself for slipping up and start making smart changes that you get lean and stay lean for life. Because instead of panicking and throwing all your progress away on a whim, you simply adjust and move on. And once you stop starting over again and again and again, you will get to where you want to be. And trust me, the other side is better than you could have ever imagined. When you finally break through, it's hard to even put into words what it feels like. It's not just about the way you look. Yes, you will be lean, you will have more detailed muscles, a chiseled jawline, and maybe even abs, but the real payoff is knowing you are in control. You wake up feeling clear-headed, focused, and ready for anything. You don't have to second guess yourself every time you eat something or rely on caffeine to drag you through the day, But better than that, it's the confidence that bleeds over into everything. No more avoiding mirrors, no more shying away from group photos. You move differently, you speak differently, and it's because you know you've done something that 93% of men never will. You have proven to yourself that you're disciplined, consistent, and in control, and that carries over to every area of your life. Work feels easier because you're sharper. Your relationships get better because you feel more content with who you are. And little things that used to stress you out a lot suddenly feel meaningless. Honestly, it's the small things though that you notice the most. No more getting out of breath because you went up 4 flights of stairs. Being confident enough to take your shirt off at the beach and feel good about yourself. And having your friends ask you how you did it. And that's what no one tells you about getting lean. It's not even about having abs. Yes, that's nice. But it's the respect you gain for yourself. Because every single time you said no to your old habits dragging you back, you solidified yourself a new identity that you can finally be proud of. So look, if you're ready to feel that difference for yourself and you want my help in doing that, where I will guide you through the exact process so it guarantees you results, click the first link in the description of this video and see if my coaching is the right fit for you. Other than that, I hope this video helped. If it did, leave it a like, share it with a friend and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.